Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another rendition of What You Should Be Watching with me, Brad Fitzpatrick, and my very lovely, very effervescent co-host, Zach Washburn. Say hi, Zach.
Hi, Zach.
Today we're going to be doing something very special. Today it's going to be what you shouldn't be watching. These are terrible movies that we believe you should not be watching. And I will
Okay.
apologize beforehand. We did miss a week, but that's my fault because we'd already done this once, so we're going to try to do it again right now. So bear with us as we keep going forward. So, with that ado, Zach, what is your number 5 worst movie?
Okay, we'll go right into it. A lot of people had mixed feelings on this. Not me. I totally hated it. Do 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 do.
And again,
See with my bad lighting, but yeah, I was not the Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull fan.
okay, so what was your least favorite part of that movie?
Um, when Indiana Jones was getting raped over and over again. Oh wait a minute, that was
So
Elton
like
John.
yeah, just it's
Yeah,
from beginning to end, just the entire
yeah. When South Park does an entire episode about that, it's got to be bad.
yeah, I
So I
know, but
obviously was not the only one who felt that way.
well, no,
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 I don't know. It was just so cheesy in some places, and then I'm the mindset. If I'm going to go into a movie about aliens, it's great. I love it. But when I go into a movie where they try to explain everything with aliens in the very end,
hmm.
I hate that. I hate it when they do that, especially in something as beloved as Indiana Jones. Trying to explain it away with aliens. It's just it was campy. I don't know.
I mean, what really kind of cinched it as being a bad movie to me was you know, the sword fighting on the back of the jeeps.
Yes. Now that whole scene in the back of the Jeeps, and you had the CGI'd monkeys,
Right?
and they tried to throw everything from the past in there about him being afraid of snakes, and they had to. It seemed like they were trying to force things in to
Yeah.
remind you that it was an Indiana Jones film. You
Right?
know,
Though I have to admit, the opening sequence was entertaining to me. The part where he gets inside the refrigerator. Okay, that was entertaining to me. All right.
no,
No.
no, that was awful too. I liked, I liked the part. I liked the part where they started out, in the warehouse. They had the ark in it. I like that. Then it just lost me from there. It's like the first 5 minutes did not save the film. It was awful.
I can definitely see that. Like, it's not going to be on anybody's top 5 list. Definitely ours. Except for, obviously, it's your top one of your number 5 worst movies, so that's fine. But it's I mean, still, you obviously own it because you're a completionist.
I'm a completist. Yes, I have to have it. Number four on my list is also part of my completionist collection.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's like the first three. No, well, not the first three, but episode one, two, and three of Star Wars. It's entertaining if you're, age 1 through 10.
Yeah.
You're gonna like it because it's fun and the action film. But for people who grew up with Indiana Jones and Star Wars, what they did afterwards, it ruins it.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll agree with that. That's a very, good comparison
Yeah.
there. So, okay, what's your number 4 worst
Number
movie?
four, I never thought that I would say that I hate a Batman movie, but Batman and Robin.
Yep. Oh, I mean, that goes without saying, you know, bat nipples.
Yeah,
I'm just
it was it was horrible. Joel Schumacher, I almost never forgave him after that. Um, he took over with Batman Forever. Batman Forever wasn't as bad, but his style, the way he did it was, and he even said in interviews that he was trying to play more homage to the older show, the '60s '70s show
yeah.
with Adam West, and it Batman is not supposed to be campy comedy.
No,
Batman fans didn't like the old show.
no.
um, it's not supposed to be like that. You want a darker, more grittier Batman, and he tried to make it all campy and I don't know. I can't even describe it, but it's why they would pick Arnold Schwarzenegger to be Mr. Freeze
I don't know.
is beyond me.
I don't know. That's, like, God, there's so many people that could play a real good Mr. Freeze, though.
Patrick Stewart?
No. No,
No.
No, like, I love Patrick Stewart, don't get me wrong, but no, I think Patrick Stewart would be more Egghead. I would love to see him as Egghead, if I had to see him as anything. Or even Ra's al Ghul. Can you imagine Patrick Stewart as Ra's al Ghul?
I can. Yeah, Rachel.
Oh, my gosh.
I don't
Oh.
know. I would think Patrick Stewart as Mr. Freeze is a no-brainer. I mean, it's just like seeing him as Professor Xavier. I mean, he was perfect for that role.
Well, yeah, but I mean, like, I want, okay,
I'm
so,
not just saying because he's bald.
no, no.
I'm just saying I can see him
Okay,
as Mr. Freeze. He's got that deep British accent. He's got the dry, the dryness going on, the dry humor. Why do you not think he would be a good?
no, I'm not saying he wouldn't be good, because Patrick Stewart is good at everything he does, but, like, I can see, the person who I see as Mr. Freeze, I see two different people, okay? I see the guy that plays Hannibal in the TV show, I cannot remember his name for the life of me right now, okay? And then I also see, did you ever see Django?
Yeah,
Okay.
Django Unchained.
Right. The guy that's in that, the older white guy that teaches him, the bounty
Yeah,
hunter.
the one that was also in Inglourious Basterds.
Yes.
The German guy.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
I can see them two as playing
I
Mr.
can
Freeze.
see both those.
Yeah.
Sure. You know someone else I can see? Actually, someone that I could see before Patrick Stewart. Christopher Lloyd. If he were to shave his head, I really think he's got the accent down and would make a great Mr. Freeze. Can you see that?
Yeah, I can see it. I can see it, but I would have to say maybe if they made this movie 20 years ago,
Yeah.
because I mean Christopher Lloyd's getting up there.
Yeah.
I don't think they'd be like, "Hey, Christopher Lloyd, we're gonna make this now."
making it now. Your picks are definitely yes. I would like that. But you know me, all my picks are 20 years and older.
Yeah, I know.
which I'm hoping is one of the reasons why you have me on, so I can kind of give a more older point of view on what people should be watching.
Absolutely not. The only reason I have you on, Zach, is so how beautiful you are. That's it. Just right
Thank
there.
you.
You see
Okay,
that
that
face?
works too.
Yeah, I just can't get enough of that. All right. So your number 3. What is your number 3 worst pick?
Well, 1, 2, and 3 I do not own and will not own.
Yeah.
Number 3 I've talked about before, and you might actually think this would have been my number 1, but no. Number 3 is, and I look at my wife when I say this, The Notebook.
Yeah, I really thought that would be your
disagree.
number 1.
No, surprisingly, it is not my number 1, but
Right.
it is up there.
So
I've said it before. It's just it was so unrealistic, and just if you're going to watch an unrealistic movie, watch a fantasy, watch a fairy tale. Women watch these kind of movies and they dream about Ryan Gosling, and then they look at you across on the couch and compare you. They want you to take them on that first date where you lay in the middle of the street and watch a stoplight, and they want you to sweep them off their feet as you run like a maniac up and grab a hold of a Ferris wheel as it goes around and around, saying, "Go out with me." And that just doesn't happen.
I know they just women today and any time just want you to risk your life for them. That's it.
Yeah, and that's just unrealistic.
Yeah, it is. It is. And then I'm like when I risk my life, it's because I'm choking on a popcorn. Because I'm not doing
Yeah.
more than a movie.
You're choking on something, or you're trying to get that new game on new release Tuesday that has come out.
Yes,
Yeah, you'll risk your life for that.
that's
but,
me.
Yeah,
A whole bunch of nerd boys right there waiting for that game to come out.
The only redeemable thing about the film is James Garner. I
Yeah.
really like him as an actor, but even that at the end, them dying together, that was just even that doesn't happen either. You know, that's one of those things you see in the Guinness Book of World Records, like couple dies together. You know,
Like, how would you like? Okay, so now I have to ask, how would you do that in the Guinness World Record? Like, is there like a time frame? Like, oh, man dies, wife dies after, they're the Guinness
yeah,
holder.
yeah, but you can only do it, Brad, if you have a registered judge there to watch you both die, or it doesn't count.
Their whole family's around like, die, die, die,
Yeah,
die.
you can do it, Dad.
It's-
I didn't mean Guinness Book of World Record. You know what I'm saying? Like the National Enquirer or some cheesy article in a newspaper saying, you know, couple dies together,
right.
hours apart.
Holding hands.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know, right? You know, I was gonna make a really bad joke right there, but I'm gonna choose to hold my breath.
Just save it for your more sensitive fans.
Yes, yes. But all right. So Notebook is number 3. That's just kind of a that's a you thing. It's okay. We still love
That's
you.
me. It's a me thing.
But what's your number 2?
Number 2 is a way older movie I doubt anyone has heard of. I watched it. It was a straight to DVD thing. I was probably in middle school or junior high. I barely remember it. I just know that I hated it. It's a movie called Freaked. The only actor I remember being in it is Randy Quaid, and he's the owner of this freak show circus. But instead of hiring legitimate freaks, he makes his own by poisoning them with this toxic sludge that he's created. And some kid gets involved, and he turns into a freak, and he's telling the whole story on this talk show, and it's just so it's so stupid. I remember my mother and I watching it. Even she thought it was stupid, and she loves corny, stupid movies. So
You had me at Randy Quaid.
yeah,
I'm just saying that was it.
Like you knew that it would be dumb, or it had you like I've got to watch it.
No, like I knew it wasn't
Yeah, when he's the star of the film, you pretty much know.
Yeah. I mean, I have yeah.
No
Quaid.
offense, Quaid. We love you in the vacation movies, and Independence Day, you were great. But
I thought that was
you're
Dennis
starring in
Quaid.
your own straight to DVD film. You're gonna probably think it's not very
Yeah,
good.
yeah. Not. No. I've seen lots of straight to DVD movies. Don't get me wrong, and some of them are great. But yeah, I don't think I'd want to see that at all.
Yeah.
All right. So then, what is your number 1? Your worst movie of all time?
My number 1 worst movie of all time. I went to the theater with my brother to see, and it's the only movie that I've ever walked out of the theater and did not finish. I was so disappointed in it. It was a movie in the early 2000s called Bug. Starred Ashley Judd and something Shannon, the guy that played General Zod in the new Superman, and
Michael Shannon. Yeah.
yeah, Michael Shannon. It was when he was first starting out, and when you see the trailer for it or watch the trailers for it, you think it's going to be a movie about this couple that discover they have bugs in their skin, like crawling around, and it was really, my brother and I were like, oh, that looks awesome, and we go to see it. About halfway in, we look at each other and we're like, okay, where's the bugs? This doesn't seem like it's going to have bugs in it. And you find out it was some attempt at trying to make a paranoia film. All it was 2 drug addicts who locked themselves in this old hotel room and convinced themselves that they have aphids crawling under their skin that was put there by the government. And once we realized that, we're like, you know what, this is crap. So we just walked out. Couldn't even finish it. I have yet to know how it ends. In the end, they may have actually had bugs, but
Well,
I was not willing to wait and find out because it was that horrible.
only to find out instead of bugs, they had crabs. That's the terrible part.
Yeah, even a film about a couple having crabs would probably have
Be-
been more entertaining than this was, Brad. Believe me.
No, I don't doubt it. I mean, as you said, Ashley Judd. That's all I really needed to know about that movie.
I like Ashley Judd.
I
You know,
don't.
she's not my most favorite actress, but
I haven't seen her in a good movie ever.
yeah, I can't say that, but
Like at least Michael Shannon's been doing some really good stuff lately.
yeah,
But
I
yeah,
like him.
he's had to hit probably that speed bump in the road, which probably did a terrible job. But
I'm surprised it didn't ruin his career before it started.
because that has happened.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So, but I guess some people liked him enough in that to actually give him more props. So,
I doubt they liked him in that. They might have been second bit afterwards.
well, I mean, somebody
That
had
is
to.
my that is my top five, Brad.
That's a pretty
Don't watch.
that is a pretty pile of stinking top five.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I guess.
And like my top five is it's hard because I've talked before. Like I love movies. I love entertainment in general,
movies, yeah.
right? And so it's hard for me to find movies that are just like, ugh. Like I will never watch this movie again because everything's all entertaining, no matter how awful it is.
I can relate, and I will say that even for entertainment purposes, I would probably watch, Batman and Robin or Indiana Jones, if even for the fact just to make fun of it.
Yeah.
I would do that. Those other three, no. No.
So
But
like
as far as entertainment purposes, they are entertaining.
so you won't hold me at night and watch The Notebook with me, Zach?
No.
Okay.
No, I would not.
All right. Well, then we'll start my number five. It's a little bit different, which is great. But my number five worst movie that of all time is the SpongeBob SquarePants movie.
Really?
Yes.
It was that bad?
It was awful. Just
Were you a fan of the show?
No.
You didn't like the movie, or did you not get the show?
I couldn't even stand the show, and I took my daughter because she begged me and begged me and begged me to take her to go see this movie when it came out,
Right.
and I literally I wanted to leave. Like I thought stabbing myself in the face would have been better than actually watching this movie, but
Wow.
I toughed it out because my daughter loved it. And I told her right then after that movie, you are never watching another SpongeBob movie with me ever again.
The things fathers do.
Right? And it was just like it felt like it tried really, really hard and then at other times didn't try at all.
Yeah.
It wanted to be Who Framed Roger Rabbit, but really, really bad.
Yeah, didn't they try to like mix in live action with that?
Yeah. Yeah, and it was just ugh.
I wouldn't say I hated SpongeBob. I've seen a few episodes. I mean, it was okay in some places. I would watch it with my first son when he was growing up. He liked it. I don't know if I could sit through 2 hours of it though. Yeah, that would be hard.
All right, so my number four is a movie called It Follows.
It follows.
It Follows. It is
Okay.
a terrible, terrible horror movie that is basically one giant, like a
Pile
movie.
of crap.
Yes, yeah. I mean, honestly, yes.
What is it about?
It's basically an anti-venereal disease movie. Specifically, it's basically people.
Venereal disease.
Yeah, I mean, I'm like, I don't know which one, but one that follows you around, like herpes. It's probably like more like herpes than anything. Because like the whole point of the movie is that something is following you that only you can see, unless you have sex with somebody, and then that thing follows them instead. And it's slow, So it's always there, and you know it's always there. It's always coming after you, and it's slow, but only appears when you're not doing anything.
What?
Yes.
That
Yes.
doesn't make any sense.
It's exactly. That's the whole point of the movie. It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
So basically, they're having sex with each other, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Just
Trying to get the monkey off their back, so to speak, but it's like a
yeah,
demon slash venereal disease.
spreading this thing that kills them in the end. And it's a terrible, terrible movie. I
Was this in
don't.
theaters?
Yes, it was in theaters. It's probably the movie that ruined my marriage. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it was that bad.
That's pretty bad.
On that same range, though, my number 3 worst movie of all time, The Witch.
The Witch. Remember The Witch, babe? Yeah, we watched that. Highly disappointed.
Very like I don't even like it, they like touted it as some like horror movie, and I'm like, no, this movie would have been better if they would just been like, this is just a should be on the Discovery Channel.
Yeah, it was
You
like
know,
a
OETA.
historical biopic. Yeah,
It's
that's another movie about paranoia that doesn't have
And
any payoff. At
it's awful, you know. Like the acting was terrible. Like the only thing that seemed to redeem it for me was the Black Bill, the goat.
all. Yeah,
That's it. You know,
Yeah.
I mean, it's terrible. Like I could not. I wanted to like it so much. I was like, yes, this is going to be great. They talked about witches, and there really wasn't any witches.
no, there was no witches at all.
You know, but I mean, it did tell you how awful religion can be.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, and it's just it was terrible. I went to theaters to see that too. I feel very disappointed. I should have walked out. It's terrible.
I'm very glad that we did not go to the theater to see that. Yeah.
All right, so my 2 and 1 are awkward because they're not specifically movies. They're directors in all of their movies.
Or just anything they do.
Yeah, anything that they do to me is pure crap.
Okay. I'm like that with M. Night Shyamalan. I really like Sixth Sense, and I thought he was just going to be great, and I couldn't wait to see his next movie. Every movie after that, I've completely disliked. I just quit watching them.
You didn't like Unbreakable?
No, I didn't like Unbreakable. Again, if I knew it would have been a movie about superheroes,
Right.
I might have liked it, but I thought that was so cheesy at the end when he finds out he's. So I will not be watching Glass. I do not care about that.
I will be.
The
So
Village, I thought, was stupid. Signs.
yeah, that was bad.
They're always great until the end.
Have you got to see The Visit though?
I did like. I actually almost forgot that was by him. I ended up watching The Visit because I really like the live action shaky cam films,
Yes.
so to speak. No,
Me too. I really enjoy those too.
I like those, and so I was like, okay, you know what? I'll give him another chance because I'd never seen anything. I haven't seen like his last 3 or 4,
Right.
like the Lady in the Water. Was that it?
That's more of like an art house movie almost.
Well, there was something before or after that I didn't watch either. I quit
The
watching.
Happening.
No, I saw The Happening. That was
Yeah.
the last one I saw. No, I did like The Visit though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Visit was. I really thought The Visit was really good. Like, oh, this is exactly what M. Night Shyamalan should be doing.
It's what he should have went back to. Yeah, it's have a good story with a good ending, and not have to put aliens or superheroes or plants that kill people in it.
Right. Oh my gosh. Okay, so my number 1 though is a director that a lot of gamers know, but most people don't. Goes by the name of Yul Boll. He has bastardized the video game movie industry to no end.
Bo.
Yes.
What movies has he done?
He's done a lot of like really C grade movies, but some of the most notable have been like Alone in the Dark, Blood Rain, like all of them. There's been like 3 sequels to Blood Rain, and the first one was crap to begin with. And I don't
Yeah.
like it's like why? Why do they keep giving him money? What is he doing?
Is he like a version of today's Ed Wood, or
No, absolutely not. At least Ed Wood knew exactly what he was doing.
yeah,
Like Ed Wood is like, I'm going to go out to make the worst movie ever,
yeah,
and it becomes like a classic immediately. That's what Ed Wood,
yeah.
wanted.
So this guy's actually trying to make good movies that are just horrible.
Yes, he thinks he's doing a great job, and just absolutely not. It is like it's okay. Okay, so when somebody gives you cookies, right? And he's like, "Hey, here's some cookies," and you bite into it, and you were expecting chocolate chips, but instead you got raisins,
I got you.
right?
Yeah. I don't mind raisins. I like oatmeal raisin cookie, but I see what you're saying.
Okay, that disappointment. You're like, you go into it like, oh, somebody did a movie about this video game. This video game's
Gotcha.
it almost takes a piece of your soul every movie that you watch.
Ouch.
Yeah. So it's just steer clear, and he's still making movies. I don't know how, but he
I
is.
don't know. Some people got to be watching and liking them.
Like you can't even make fun of them. That's how bad they are.
That is pretty bad.
Like it's literally like you're watching them and you're like, what? But those are my top 5. And of course, if we had to group in the
Well,
directors,
you're not. You skipped one. You didn't do 2 or 1.
yeah, that was my number 1. U-Boat number 1. Number 2. You're right. I did skip number 2. Thank you for remembering. So we'll go back. Rob Zombie.
Oh.
Yes.
I was thinking he was your number 1, and
No.
you skipped it. Okay.
No. At
Rob
least
Zombie's your number 2. You don't like anything that Rob Zombie does.
exactly. At least Rob Zombie's done a remake of Halloween, which was interesting, and I liked the way he thought about it. That first one. Everything else he's done is crap. Absolute crap.
Really? So like movies like what? Like The Devil's Reject,
I hate him.
House of a Thousand Corpses.
Hate it. Just, and I'm all for like a gore movie, right? I can sit through gore movies and be like, oh, this is interesting. I hate those movies. There's just something about them. Like, and his wife to me is a terrible actress, and he puts her in everything.
Is that his wife?
Yes.
Okay. I really like her, and I like that. It's his wife. Is it his brother that's also in him? And then there's that bald guy with the big beard that's always in all of his stuff too. You don't like him? Oh, why not, Brad?
None of them can act in those movies. Maybe they can act, but Rob Zombie makes a terrible script, and so it's a terrible movie.
Like George Lucas.
No, worse. At least George Lucas can like ignited something for some people.
Yeah.
Okay? At least you can safely say without George Lucas there would be no Star Wars.
That's true.
Okay?
How do you feel about Rob Zombie's music?
Uh,
On a side note.
we don't want to go there.
Okay.
Okay? We don't have another half hour for me just to diss on Rob Zombie, only for me to get hate mail.
Yeah, I can see that. I didn't hate those movies, but I wasn't in love with them either.
No. But that was Rob Zombie's my number 2. Thank you for bringing me back to remind me how awful that person was, and I wanted to forget. But thank you
No
for
problem.
that. Well, okay, guys, those are our worst stinking movies, the top 5 from each side of us. Sorry it is a bit late, but we're going to try to get another episode up here really shortly soon, so you're going to have 2 for the price of 1 because of my ignorance. But hopefully you'll be satisfied. Zach, is there anything you'd like to add today?
I would. Thank you for asking. talking about bad movies and stuff. I'm sure everyone knows about Mystery Science Theater 3000. I don't know if you've ever seen the older version, but the guys that do that have a website called rifftracks.com. Have you heard of it?
Yes, I have.
Have you ever seen any of them?
Mm-hmm.
They're great. They riff on movies. You know, they'll riff on good movies and bad movies.
Yes.
I think this is an appropriate video to bring them up because, like I was saying, they actually do a riff on Indiana Jones, the Crystal Skull, and they actually do a riff on Batman and Robin. So, if you have one of those bad movies, and you feel like we do about it, go ahead, go to their website, rifftracks.com. If I can give them a plug. And,
I'll put the website in the description of the video.
Okay, awesome. And then they're like. They run about like $2.99, $3.99 a riff, and you sync them up with the movie, and you listen to it over the computer, and it's really good. It's a really good website. So I just thought it was fitting for this topic.
All right. Well then, guys, remember, always be kind to each other, and we'll see you in the next video.
Bye, everybody.